Fightful.com had some exclusive news on the two Money in the Bank ladder matches airing on May 10th on the pay-per-view. I say airing because according to Fightful, both matches have already been taped. There was some confusion about whether or not the matches were already taped or not, or if they had taped some other material on the roof of Titan Tower. Apparently the matches are done. Talent was flown out last Tuesday. Multiple matches were filmed simultaneously, which is an interesting way of phrasing this, because does that mean that both Money in the Bank matches were filmed at the same time? And we're going to see them almost like intermingle? Because that would be kind of interesting, although it might be hard to really kind of focus on what's going on. But if it's shot cinematically, they could just cut back and forth, between the two. So I don't know what that means, filmed simultaneously. I mean, it sounds like they were filmed at the same time. It lasted all the way from the early wee hours of the morning all the way until almost midnight. So this was a full day of shooting. It was filmed like a movie. There was said to be a lot of stalling as they waited for shots to be set up, as the matches went along. Probably a lot of start and stop, all right? Like cut, let's set this up, all right? Action, that kind of stuff. So it sounds like both Money in the Bank matches are getting the cinematic treatment this year. I mean, just the nature of the matches, starting from the bottom of the WWE offices, working their way all through the building, all the way to the roof. It sounds like something tailor-made for the movie treatment. I compared it last year to Die Hard, or some kind of like rat race type thing. Maybe they play for comedy, which you could do. I wouldn't play both matches up completely for comedy. I mean, these are your main events. But the way the match is structured, if ever there was a match that deserved the movie treatment, it's probably this. Who knows what offices they may end up in. They may end up fighting into Vince's office. They certainly have plenty of money and profits, despite all the people they fired. So if they end up damaging parts of the building, they end up destroying Vince's office, then I'm sure they could fix it very easily. I already destroyed the gym at the Performance Center. I'm not even talking about Edge and Orton. I'm talking about Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They had that brawl once on NXT television in the gym. They shattered the glass mirror and they did a ton of damage in there. So I'm sure they can get that cleaned up very quickly. I know it took 8 hours for them to film the Boneyard match at WrestleMania with AJ Styles and The Undertaker. So this sounds like it was a similar deal. You have a lot of talents just trying to stay warm. Because 1 minute, I don't mean temperature-wise, I just mean, 1 minute you're just taking bumps as you normally would, and then the next you're standing around for, who knows, half an hour, 20 minutes, just standing there, waiting for the next shot. So I am looking forward to Money in the Bank, the matches. I just think it's one of those wacky ideas that when you watch it, it's either going to be really, really cool or it's going to be a total disaster. It'll end up on Botchamania or Wrestle Crap or something like that. But either way, it should be entertaining, which is probably the main reason I'm looking forward to it. It's something out of the ordinary. It's not going to be inside of an empty performance center. So I'm intrigued. The updated lineups for the Money in the Bank matches themselves are as follows. The men's Money in the Bank will be Daniel Bryan versus Aleister Black, versus Rey Mysterio, versus Apollo Crews, versus Baron Corbin, versus the winner of the match this Friday between Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Now, Daniel Bryan, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, if he were to win, his qualifier, they've all won briefcases before. There have been two-time Money in the Bank match winners in the past. Actually, I think CM Punk might be the only one. Now that I think about it, I know CM Punk won back-to-back briefcases. I don't know that anybody else has won in a match. I mean, I know Edge, technically he won the briefcase from Ken Anderson years later. To me, that doesn't count. Punk may be the only one that I could think of who actually won two briefcases in two different Money in the Bank ladder matches. But the point is, there's been at least one person who has done that before. It would not be impossible to think that Baron Corbin or Daniel Bryan could win another briefcase. I don't see that. Apollo Crews, he'd be the wild card in all this. I just don't see them doing anything meaningful with him. I know he's getting a little bit of a push now, but we've seen this before with people. The start and stop stuff. He's been there for years. And you mean to tell me that all of a sudden they had some kind of coming to Jesus moment and now, we're going to do stuff with Apollo Crews? I don't buy it. He's going to win Money in the Bank? He's going to cash in and become the champion? I mean, really? I mean, come on. He's a talented guy, but give me a break. You really think this company is going to do that? You are out of your mind. Rey Mysterio, he doesn't need the briefcase. So that leaves one person. That leaves Aleister Black. I still don't think it fits his persona to carry the briefcase around like a lunchbox, but of the choices given, it should be him. It should be him. And if it eventually sets up maybe a SummerSlam main event of Aleister Black against Drew McIntyre, I think that'd be a hell of a match. Now, the women's Money in the Bank match will consist of Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and the winner of the match this Friday between Carmella and Mandy Rose. They had Lacey beat Sasha Banks on Friday to qualify. And any interest I had in this match just completely evaporated. I mean, Asuka's still in it, so she'll make it entertaining. But I just think it was the perfect setup with, I'm not going to, you know what? It's not even worth it. I thought that was the wrong outcome. And what it does, I think, is it paves the way for a Shayna Baszler win. Seems pretty obvious now. It was obvious going into the Elimination Chamber, and it's pretty obvious going into Money in the Bank that we're probably going to get a Shayna Baszler win. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They've been booking her on Mondays like a monster. She's trying to break people's arms. She's winning matches by ref stoppages. You know, she's being booked like a killer. She's being booked like a monster. So it would only make sense now with Sasha out of the picture. And even with Sasha in the picture, if Sasha were to have qualified, Shayna probably still would have been the favorite. I would have picked Sasha to win, but just because I just think storyline-wise and just having Charlotte and Bayley and Becky as the people to have the championships, if you had that rule, which I don't think they're doing, but have that rule where you can cash in on any champion of your choice, I just think there was so much potential with that idea, but what are you going to do? And finally here, before we move on, Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski, his possible career as a WWE superstar will have to wait. Leave the memories alone. We'll always have Rob Gronkowski making an ass out of himself at WrestleMania, if nothing else. He has unretired from the NFL and has been traded from the New England Patriots to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he will be reunited with his BFF, Tom Brady. Now, he is still the 24/7 champion. Or as he said in a video on the Buccaneers Twitter account, he is the, and I quote, 24/7 WWE title belt champion. I'm pretty sure a tiny little blood vessel burst in Vince McMahon's head when he heard that. But if he can get Tom Brady to pin him or try to pin him, because if Tom Brady wins the 24/7 title, the problem you then have is, how the hell do you get the title off Tom Brady? I mean, he's Tom Brady. But realistically, what do? Then he's got a job to somebody? I think it would be more realistic to have Tom Brady attempt to become the 24/7 champion. But imagine if he did. If Gronkowski said, hey, dude, I want you to pin me. Here, I'm going to lay down. You can pin me. And you're going to win this ugly green belt. WWE would be over the moon to have Tom Brady as a champion, an officially recognized champion on their roster. Are you kidding me? To get video of Tom Brady winning or trying to win the 24/7 title? Even better, have R-Truth sneak up behind Tom Brady and roll him up. Win back the championship. I mean, just the thought of it is crazy. I mean, it would be like having a WWE Hall of Famer in the White House. I mean, it's impossible. Impossible to conceive of. I also like how Gronkowski retired and then unretired. So I think he'll fit into the wrestling business quite well. Raw last Monday, the Twitter poll, get a load of this. We had 1,999 votes in the Twitter poll this week. Really? One of you couldn't give me that extra one vote You had to leave me hanging there. 1,999 votes. You people are killing me. 34% thumbs up for the show, 66% thumbs down.